It was a warm, quiet night in Los Angeles, an ordinary evening, really. And then suddenly shattered. A loud bang, a figure fleeing down the street, and a young woman left with just one desperate final question. Why? Ah. That chilling moment, that single word, is where we start our deep dive today.
Yeah.
The tragic story of Rebecca Schaeffer. She was this beautiful, promising young actress. Her life just completely cut short by an obsessed fan. And while, yes, this has all the makings of a harrowing true crime story, it's actually, I think, a profound look at something much bigger. We're talking about the dangerous intersection of fame, mental illness, and, well, systemic vulnerabilities that, frankly, we're still dealing with today.
Absolutely. And our mission for you listening is to really unpack every layer of this devastating case. We'll look at Rebecca's rise, how she got started. We'll delve into the dark, really fractured motivations of her killer, John Bardo, and maybe most importantly, explore the lasting legal and societal changes that came out of this one event. The goal here is for you to get a thorough understanding of how quickly simple adoration can just morph into dangerous obsession. And also, how crucial critical thinking is when we try to understand complex, sometimes terrifying human behavior.
So Rebecca Schaeffer, her story starts not in Hollywood, but way back in Eugene, Oregon. Born to Dana, a writer, and Benson, a child psychologist. Grew up in a devout Jewish family. It's fascinating, actually. She apparently considered becoming a rabbi at one point.
Yeah, quite a different path considered there.
But then around 14, something clicked, and she discovered this powerful love for entertainment. By 1984, she's just 16, makes this bold move to New York City, starts working with elite model management.
A big step for someone so young.
Then a brief stint in Japan in 85. Didn't quite pan out, I gather. So she comes back to New York, waitressing, struggling but sticking with the acting dream.
Right, the classic aspiring actress story in many ways.
But then comes the breakthrough. What really launched her. It was almost out of nowhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, the 17 magazine cover shoot.
That was huge for her. I mean, a girl from Oregon on the cover of 17.
Definitely. And that cover, it got noticed. TV producers saw it.
Led straight to an audition for My Sister Sam, that popular sitcom.
That's the one. She landed the role of Patty Russell, the younger sister.
And the show was a massive hit. Like, top 25 sitcoms of all time, wasn't it?
It was huge.
Yeah.
And from there, Rebecca was really on the ascent.
Got roles in different films, other TV shows. And the pinnacle, the really exciting moment for her, was landing a major role in The Godfather Part 3.
Imagine that. The Godfather.
She must have been ecstatic, knew it could launch her into, international stardom.
And it's right there, right at that moment, on the cusp of this huge success. That's when the dark side really emerges, the inherent dangers of celebrity. Rebecca was, by all accounts, genuinely kind to her fans. She'd actually spend time writing back to many of them.
Trying to connect personally.
Exactly. But while most fan mail was supportive, some of it inevitably turned unsettling, as it often does.
Especially back then, right? The 80s. Fan letters were the main way to connect. No social media DMs.
Precisely. And that context really sets the stage for the specific and ultimately deadly kind of attention Rebecca was about to receive.
And that unsettling attention, as you said, came from one particular young man, John Bardo. His first letters, they seemed okay on the surface, didn't they? Praising her talent, her beauty.
Typical fan stuff, yeah. Talk about watching all her movies and shows.
But when you dig into Bardo's background, it paints a very, very different picture. Disturbing, really.
Absolutely. Bardo was the youngest of 7 kids, grew up in a deeply dysfunctional family, alcoholic father, abusive.
Awful.
Robert apparently became the family's punching bag. Constantly belittled. This instability led to him being placed in foster care at one point. He was unstable, threatened self-harm.
Wow.
His family was even described as pathological and volatile. Just a terrible environment.
And that manifested as he got older.
Oh, yes. In adolescence, he developed significant violence, anger issues. It's a clear case of what we now call generational trauma.
These cycles of abuse just passing down.
Exactly. Affecting him deeply. He was later diagnosed with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia too, I believe. Plus, there was a family history of serious mental health issues.
And run-ins with the law.
Multiple. 3 arrests for violence, disorderly conduct. He was even institutionalized briefly at 15.
But he was smart, a straight-A student.
He was, which makes it even more tragic. But he dropped out of high school eventually. The instability was just too much.
Looking back at that, his background, the severity of it all from such a young age, it really makes you think about mental health support back then. Or the lack of it.
It really does. The 70s and 80s. the understanding, the resources, the stigma.
What's the lesson there, do you think, at those systemic failures?
I think Bardo's story is just a stark illustration. Severe mental illness combined with a total lack of early intervention, the stigma. It created this individual who just slipped through every crack.
It wasn't just his personal trauma.
No, it was the system's inability to see it or treat it effectively. It left him on a really dangerous path.
Now, Rebecca wasn't his first obsession, was she?
No, she wasn't. Before Rebecca, Bardo had an intense fixation on another young celebrity, Samantha Smith.
Oh, the peace activist. The girl who wrote to Andropov.
That's her, Samantha Smith. Famous at 10 for that letter. America's youngest ambassador, they called her. She later starred in a TV series, Lime Street.
And Bardo focused on her.
Intensely. He was an adult then, mind you. He actually traveled all the way from Tucson, Arizona to Maine, hoping to meet her.
Did he?
No, but it got him cited by the police. That obsession only ended, tragically, when Samantha died in a plane crash in August 1985. She was only 13.
Unbelievably sad. And so, after Samantha's death, Bardo's attention, it just shifted.
It diverted, yeah, to Rebecca Schaeffer. He was 19 by then.
And Rebecca made what in hindsight feels like an innocent mistake. She replied to one of his letters.
Yes. Apparently, she called his letter one of the nicest she'd received. Just being polite, probably overwhelmed with mail.
But in his mind.
In his twisted mind, that was it. That was the end.
That's just terrifying, how kindness can be warped like that.
It's a chilling pattern in these cases. He genuinely believed she was interested, that they could be life partners.
It wasn't just misinterpretation, was it? It was delusion.
Completely. Any engagement, even simple politeness, becomes confirmation for their narrative. It makes being a public figure incredibly dangerous sometimes.
And this led to that horrifying idea, if he couldn't have her.
No one could. That became his resolve.
So the stalking escalates. He's watching her shows, her movies, over and over, like a super fan, but darker.
And he somehow found out where she worked, the Warner Bros. Lot in Burbank, where she was filming My Sister Sam.
And he just showed up.
Showed up with a teddy bear and flowers.
Yeah.
Genuinely expecting her to drop everything and meet him.
Wow. Security turned him away, obviously.
They did. And the policy then, at Warner Bros., was not to tell the actors about these things.
So Rebecca had no idea this guy had even been there.
Not at all. Even more unsettling. He came back again a week later.
Again.
This time with a weapon. But again, security stopped him, he complied, and he left without a fuss. So still no alarm bells ringing loud enough.
Why wasn't he seen as a threat then, just turned away twice?
That's the critical question, isn't it?
Yeah.
He was likely perceived as just a harmless, lovesick fan. It's a common misjudgment.
Happens all the time, even outside of celebrity cases.
Absolutely. Identifying a truly dangerous individual among countless fans or admirers is incredibly difficult. It's a challenge for security, for law enforcement. It's not just celebrities. My own wife, just last year, had someone stalking her. Endless texts, weird voicemails. It starts as infatuation, then twists into something scary.
That's terrifying. It really brings it home.
It does. And in Rebecca's case, because Bardo was compliant each time, he just slipped under the radar. Rebecca remained completely unaware of the danger.
And incredibly, his focus on Rebecca actually faded for a while.
It did. He diverted his attention to other celebrities. Madonna was one, I think. It seemed like a pattern, almost a rinse and repeat situation for a serial stalker.
But he came back to Rebecca. What triggered that?
The trigger was him watching her 1989 film, Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills.
Right, you mentioned that earlier, the scene where she was.
Where she was getting cozy with a fellow actor, as the reports say. For Bardo, seeing that scene just hitting, it shattered the innocent image he'd constructed of her in his mind.
He lost touch with reality.
Entirely. He started viewing Rebecca as his own property. He felt she was cheating on him. This completely distorted perception was the final fuse. It lit the path to what happened next.
The fateful day, July 18th, 1989. Rebecca had just moved into her own apartment, West Hollywood. Feeling safe, probably excited about this new phase.
Right, a secure complex, feeling independent.
But Bardo was determined. He wanted to make her pay for this perceived betrayal in the movie.
And he found out where she lived. He paid a detective agency in Tucson $250.
$250.
Yep. $250 to get Rebecca's home address from the California DMV records.
That's horrifyingly easy. Just pay someone, and they get private information from the DMV.
That's how it was back then, a massive privacy loophole.
So he gets the address. Then what?
He gets a firearm, apparently with his brother's help, hides it in a shopping bag, boards a Greyhound bus from Arizona to West Hollywood,
He gets to her apartment
and
complex.
starts going door to door, asking neighbors if Rebecca Schaeffer lived there.
Didn't that raise suspicion, just asking random neighbors?
Apparently not immediately, surprisingly. He eventually found her specific building.
And Rebecca, meanwhile, she was expecting something important.
Yeah,
Well,
she's waiting for the script for The Godfather Part 3, or maybe the director. So when her doorbell rang, she rushed down to the lobby expecting that delivery.
and it was Bardo.
It was Bardo. Her initial reaction, according to reports, was brief. She might have recognized him from a letter.
Did she say anything?
She apparently greeted him nicely at first, but then sternly told him not to visit her again. And he actually left,
He left. Okay.
but only for about an hour. He went, had breakfast at a diner nearby, and then came back.
He came back. Why?
When Rebecca came to the lobby again, she reportedly had a cold look. She asked him why he was there again, told him she was busy, didn't have much time.
And that was it. That flipped the switch.
According to Bardo himself, yes. That was apparently what caused him to lose his cool. He felt it was a callous thing to say to a fan.
His word.
His twisted justification.
Exactly. That was his point of no return. He pulled the weapon from the shopping bag
Oh, God.
and fired at point-blank range. A single shot to the chest.
A neighbor saw it happen.
A neighbor witnessed it, heard Rebecca's final word, that haunting why, as Bardo fled.
And Rebecca.
She was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, but she died within 30 minutes. Just devastating. Bardo didn't get far, though. Arrested within a day.
Yeah, back in Tucson. Found on Interstate 10, apparently bawling his eyes out, contemplating suicide. He confessed almost immediately.
The trial. His defense tried an insanity plea.
They did. Cited his diagnosed bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. Claimed he wasn't aware of his actions, wasn't responsible.
But the prosecution had strong counter-evidence.
Very strong. They pointed to all the premeditation. Bringing the gun, hiring the PI for the address, even going for breakfast and then returning. He had multiple chances to stop.
And those chilling parallels you mentioned earlier.
Right. Getting the address via a PI, that mirrored the Arthur Richard Jackson case, the guy who attacked Theresa Saldana in '82.
And the book.
And carrying the Catcher in the Rye, dumping it at the scene. Eerily similar to Mark David Chapman, who killed John Lennon in 1980 and also had that book. Chapman even got Lennon's autograph hours before.
So was Bardo just obsessed, or was he deliberately copying, reenacting these crimes?
That's the crucial, disturbing question. The level of premeditation, the specific echoes of other cases. It strongly suggests more than just obsession. It points towards a conscious, terrifying level of planning, almost like following a script drawn from his idols.
The method itself was part of the delusion.
It seems that way, a deliberate reenactment.
In the end, the jury didn't buy the insanity plea.
No. Bardo was found guilty of first-degree murder, sentenced to life in prison without parole.
And he's still serving that sentence, even after being attacked in prison.
Yes, he survived an attack back in 2007, recovered, and remains incarcerated.
The impact of Rebecca's murder, it was massive, wasn't it? It really shook Hollywood, led to actual changes.
Profound changes. It was a wake-up call. Stalking finally became officially recognized as a crime in California, with laws drafted starting in 1990.
And the DMV loophole.
That led directly to the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, the DPPA, enacted federally in 1994. Stopped DMVs from just handing out home addresses.
Huge. And restraining orders became stronger, too.
Yes, victims could get 10-year restraining orders, much more significant than what was available before.
We have to mention Theresa Saldana again here, right? Her advocacy was key.
Absolutely vital. Saldana, having survived her own horrific attack years earlier, became a tireless advocate. She lobbied hard for those anti-stalking laws and the DPPA. Her work was instrumental.
But it does raise that sobering question you touched on. Why did it take two high-profile tragedies like Saldana's and Schaeffer's?
It really points to a societal blind spot at the time, doesn't it? A failure to grasp the real danger until it hit with such devastating force twice.
Beyond the laws, didn't it also lead to specialized police units?
Yes, in Los Angeles, a specialized unit was set up specifically for threat management concerning celebrities. And the general attitude shifted. Even seemingly harmless fan behavior, persistent letters, constant outreach, it started being taken much more seriously.
Rebecca's case really did change Hollywood forever.
No question.
But for Bardo himself, the obsession didn't end with the murder, did it? He's still fixated, even in prison.
It's deeply disturbing. He spends his time drawing pictures. Pictures of celebrities like Rebecca, Angelina Jolie, Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift.
And also, serial killers.
Yes. notorious figures like David Berkowitz, John Wayne Gacy, and these drawings, unbelievably, are sometimes sold online.
That's grotesque. And his quotes from prison, they show no remorse, do they?
None at all. He once said, "My feelings for her were uncontrollable. I was a fan of hers, and I may have carried it too far."
May have.
That phrase, may have, it's chilling. It shows his complete detachment from the reality and horror of what he did. And in a letter to his sister, he wrote, "I have an obsession with the unattainable."
That says it all, really. The obsession didn't die with Rebecca, it just transferred a window into that pathology.
Exactly. Truly disturbing.
But Rebecca's memory does live on. Her boyfriend at the time, Brad Silberling, the director.
Yes, he made the film Moonlight Mile in 2002, partly in her remembrance.
And the cast of My Sister's Son did something too.
They did. Pam Dauber, Joel Brooks, the whole main cast. They filmed a public service announcement for the Center to Prevent Handgun Violence. A powerful statement.
Connecting Rebecca's story to the bigger picture. It's horrific, but as you said, not unique. Selena, Bjork, Stalker, Christina Grimmie.
It's a devastating list. And it underscores that this fatal fixation isn't limited to the famous.
Like your wife's experience, normal people aren't immune.
Not at all. That's the crucial takeaway for everyone listening. The core message is stark, really. All it takes is a moment, a decision, and fondness, infatuation. It can twist into obsessive hatred, something far uglier that just leaves pain behind.
So thinking about how Rebecca Schaeffer's case fundamentally reshaped things, our understanding of privacy, public safety, it leaves us with a question, doesn't it? How do we today, as individuals, as a society, keep balancing the public's fascination with celebrity against that fundamental right to safety, to anonymity, especially now in this age of constant digital access, where getting personal information is, in some ways, easier than ever?